and I'll use their money, right, that they're paying me for gas, energy, time, and effort to pay for the dump. I mean, to me, it's just business one-on-one. Now, a lot of guys ain't gonna tell you all that. They're not gonna break it down like Ray breaks it down, but I'm gonna break it down like that because that's in reality, that's what's happening. And I know a lot of guys do the same thing I'm doing because it ain't smart to do it any other way. And I do have a disclaimer. But, you know, either use a hustler or use it not, you know. But you got to put yourself in the position to be a hustler, you know. You got to put yourself in a position, meaning trucks, trailers, equipment, and all that, and help. Okay, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's what, Tuesday morning, and yeah. So by now, y'all have seen that I got the slab. that I got the slab done yesterday. Another spur of the moment thing that I just, you know, it really irked me, you know, that. Well, there's a few things about it that I'm not liking. It doesn't look as good as the other one looked. The concrete looks a lot more grayer. Maybe it'll set and turn better. But at the end of the day, y'all, I hate to say it like this, but I'm just glad to get the freaking thing done. And, you know, by the time I got to the point of doing this slab, I was at the end of my rope as far as, you know, frustration and all. At the end of the day, man, I had to get the slab done. The whole purpose of, you know, trying to do all this stuff is, well, we're going into the off season and I got time and I can write the building off on my taxes, and I want to do all that. I want to write the whole building off this year. I don't want to break it in half, and there's a few, and I don't understand everything about the write-off on the building and how much I can write off and blah, 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 blah. I'm basing all this on what my accountant has told me to do. So I'll just let the accountant do what she do. I'm going to do what I do. And yeah, so the thing is to get the building up. That's what I mean. The concrete I thought would be up, you know, hire a contractor and bam, 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 bam. But no. It ain't quite that simple, as you can see. So it's not a big deal now, of course, that I got it done. But they did not put a wedge on the street like I asked them to, you know, and they didn't do it. I mean, the guys that did the 20 foot by 40 foot, the bigger piece, they did a lot better job, man. A lot better. It ain't even freaking close, man. So, but what do? You know, if you're me, think I'm gonna call the people and have them come back out and redo it? I mean, it took an act of Congress to get them to come out here to begin with. And, you know, I'm going to look at it like, well, you know, I had to cut my losses, I guess. So I had one guy, he's always coming in the comments a little bit sideways, and that's okay. You know, he calls it tough love, but whatever. You know, I call it a dig. So one guy coming in the comments was saying, you know, that's like me, you know, going to a job, talking about the concrete. That's like me going to a job and the homeowner wanting me to use their mower and their weed eater and stuff. You know, well, it ain't the same because, well, number one, I did not ask them anything. They asked me if they could use the skid steer. They asked me if I had the wiring and if I had the forms. They asked me that, you know, before, you know, that's before he came in with the $5,800 number. And I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, if they don't have to bring a skid steer to my house and they can use mine and just drop a couple of guys off, they can go do a whole nother job somewhere else at the same time. I know that sounds a little bit complicated to some, but that's how a lot of people do things, you know. That's how I would do things, you know. I've never, not one time in the whole time I've been in business, ever asked a customer if I could use their lawnmower. Not ever. I think one time I asked a customer if I could use their ladder because it was something that they threw on me, wanted me to get to grab a stick off their shed or something, and I couldn't reach it. And, you know, and it wasn't something that was planned. Of course, I have ladders. But I've never asked a customer if I could if I could use any of their equipment. Never. So that puts that right out the round, whatever you're talking about. I don't even know. It's a sideways dig at Ray, but that's okay. I'm used to it. And then of course the same guy, he comes on, he says, you know, about the work we did the other day where the guy didn't write the check for the full amount. Well, he wrote the check for the bushes, but he didn't write the check for the yard. And that guy, you know, the guy comes in the comments and he says, you know, well, didn't you give him a written quote? No, man, I didn't give him a written quote, dude. We talked the night before. He's a regular customer of mine. I do the yard every 2 weeks and have all summer. It's the second time that I've cut the bushes. I don't know. I got a disclaimer right here, man. Please read it very carefully. I'll leave it on here a little bit longer for some. But I don't know how everybody else does things. But for my regular customers, when you're talking about a job that's small, you know, $400 or $500 job, I don't do written quotes on lawns. If it's a $50 lawn, $70 lawn, I don't do a written quote on that and give it to the customer. Because if I had to do that, then I'd be spending all my time printing and writing quotes and spending ink and all that stuff on the printer and spending my time sitting there wording everything just right and all. Now I will do that kind of thing when it's a big contract, but for the little work, I don't do a written quote, and I don't work outside the customer base either. So, you know, I only do a written quote. Quote. Well, the only time I do one is when I want to, and when I feel the need to. I didn't feel the need to do that over a $400, $500 job that me and him had talked the night before. What am I going to do? Put a quote together, run it out there to him, and give him the written quote and say, okay, let me schedule the work now. Well, while a lot of guys are doing all that, I done the work and on to the next job. I mean, I never get that. I don't give customers receipts either. When a customer pays me, I don't give them a receipt. If they want me to email them something, they'll have to email me and I'll send them a PDF. I noticed that a lot of things that some of the bigger companies do, you know, paperwork wise and everything, is a real time consumer. And, you know, and anything that takes more time costs more money, if you ask me. That's just me. I got, y'all see it. Got me a disclaimer, because I'm down here, and you know, that's one thing about being self-employed. You don't have to do things like everybody else does things. I do what works for me, and I'm trying to keep my expenses down so I can keep my profits up. And if I got to print off a freaking written quote every time I do a damn job, oh my God. Yeah. What it was the other day, he just forgot to write the check for the 535. Well, Ray, man, you ought to do a written quote, and then you don't have that kind of confusion. Well, a written quote, okay. I pull up there, he's not home. What do I do with that written quote? Am I not going to start the work until he comes home? after we talked the night before? That doesn't make any sense to me. We talked the night before. So what happens if he's not? I'll pull up there and I got the beloved written quote in my hand. Who am I giving it to? There ain't nobody there. Well, right, you just wait and do the work when Duke comes home. Yeah, that's what you might do. I'm not going to do that. We had an agreement from the night before. I'm going to go on that agreement. Written quote or not a written quote. And, you know, yeah. I don't know, man. That's just, you know, how I do things. So, today, I got, y'all see the man lift behind us. Man lift. We're going to do well, I'm not. And I wanted to talk a minute about, you know, going through the summer, banking your money, being smart with your money, and all the things that I'm always talking about. Well, that's all paying dividends now. Because like today, I ain't doing nothing but managing things. I'm not going to do a lot of physical work myself. You know, I'm not. I'm taking the money that I'm taking some of the money that I made through the summer, and I'm going to put it back into business, and I'm going to let Zach do the bushes over here, the man lift stuff. I'm going to be there to manage everything and to make sure that everything is like it's supposed to be. But for the most part, Zach and Katie are going to be doing all the work. You know, and I'll make money because I got a man lift and because I got the customers. Did I give them a written quote on this work over here? No, I didn't. Am I worried about getting paid? No, I'm not. They're regular customers. Y'all been over here 100 times. One of the customers has been my customer for like 14 years. The other one has been my customer. Well, I've had the house. You know, there's been a few people living in it, but I've done the same property for 10 years. So, you know, the new owner, he's been there about a year. He's already paid me about probably $6,000 or $7,000 for miscellaneous work I've done around the house. Plus, we cut the grass every 2 weeks. Now I know today the grass is not going to hardly need it, but we're going to do it anyway. You know, so I'm going to be focused on the yard while I got Zach and Katie doing the bushes. So I do have to go talk with the other owner, the newest owner, the 14-year owner. I don't have to talk to her. We talked. We texted yesterday, so you know she knows what we're doing. I do the same thing every year. You know, she don't never ask me how much. So, you know, every customer you can't do that with, but but only you know the ones that you can. So, the man lift will be over there, and we could probably do it without the man lift, but I ain't got to, and I don't want to, and it's a lot more dangerous without the man lift, and it's a whole lot easier with the man lift. We can do a much better job with the man lift than not. So I'm gonna pull up over here and I'm gonna back the man lift straight into position. There ain't no there ain't a whole lot of fanfare. We're gonna get right on around there and get them bushes done over there. And we're gonna try to, we only gonna be working about 4 or 5 hours. I'm hoping to make about $800. So 400 or 500 each. Let's just kind of see. I don't really have a set price. I got to look at, there's a lot of little things that we may do outside the scope of what a set price is, and I want to make sure I get paid for everything. The biggest thing over here today that we're going to run into logistically is hauling the stuff off. Okay guys, so y'all see this bush right here, and it used to not be as tall, but it's too tall now. You get up there on that hill, there's a slope that comes down with the pool, and I mean, it's very dangerous. So we usually hit it about once a year, or twice a year, excuse me. So
I think that's pretty good right there, man. I would like to get it over this way a little bit. I don't know, we'll try it right there. I can always slide it a little bit. So you got to be thinking when you're running this man lift, you have to be thinking like this. Y'all see, I'm gonna try to make sure y'all can see that. Y'all see this bar right here? See that? What that means is I can't go this way on the rotation. I have to go all the way around. And a lot of times that is something that you can't do if you got really close to something, right? So let me get the thing situated and everything. But y'all see what I'm saying? That protects it from going around and around and around the same way, and that'll start ripping hydraulic lines out. You can only go around. So when I come up with the lift, we're gonna have to go all the way around that way, right, to get up to the tree. The shortest way would be to come this way to get to the tree. And you always got to be thinking about the man lift. You're in the center of it. It looks deceiving, but yeah. So first thing you have to do here is you got to pull that off, right? And let me set that down. Pull that off. I put the brake down, okay, just so it can't roll. And pull that back. Now I leave the chains hooked to the truck. I do. So yeah. Like I was saying, so that's how we're going to do that. I got it all ready. Zach's got extra battery in there and that. So now you just, I know there's going to be somebody saying I ain't doing something right, but I got a disclaimer right here. It's right here. So see that sign right there? That tells you that sign right there. That means you're on this control panel. If you turn the key to the blue, that means you're on that control panel. So now we got to get the legs down. And you'll see I got the chain still on the truck because you never know exactly, well, the chains could stop it from flipping if it did. I know it's not here. It's not really that sketchy here. But and could we do this without the man lift? Probably, huh? Yeah, but not that big. That's pretty big. Okay, so when it stops, y'all see them 4 lights? Y'all see them 4 lights? That means it's ready. So now what I'll do is gonna make sure it's unlocked from there because they got a latch down. That latches. This thing's got pressure washing hookups too. It's got a latch right there, and the latch has already been undone. So now, when I pick it up, I'm gonna have to bring it back this way, all the way around to up there. So, right. So in order to move anything on the lift, you have to hold that if you're on this control panel. So this controls the boom going up. So here we go. And one thing about it, before you rotate 360, you got to make sure this arm clears that. I don't understand that, and maybe somebody can tell me, but if this part is down to here and it hits that, then, well, it can mess the gears up. So here we go. So then you just gonna walk all over, and you gotta make sure the boom don't hit nothing like that wall. Hold it, come on around. You gotta make sure Zach don't hit nothing today.
That's That's terrible. If I didn't.
Yeah. Look, Zach, I'm gonna take it down to the steps where you got steps going right up into it. How about that? Let's think about that. And you hit that button right there to go out. We aim to please. We want Zach to be all he can be. And then we're gonna push it on out to him.
That's not good enough.
I mean, what more does he want, y'all? I mean, so that thing's kind of tilted. Damn, dog. It ain't made to jump in and all that, man. And you come back a little bit. About like that.
Yeah, sure. Anything's fine. Okay. I'll work with the angles I got.
Oh. Zach right there, y'all. Like that. He's scared right now. he hates heights.
Yeah, but I'm not like Anthony.
No. Well, you done been on it a couple times now. Let's get above that.
Alright, now my butt cheeks are squeezing right
All right, so, hey, take that blue thing off. And put it in the floor right there.
Yep.
You know how to control it?
Yeah.
You sure? You can't hit nothing, dude.
I know.
Let me get you over there and get you started.
Okay.
Oh, wrong way.
Watch the tape.
Going up. And I know y'all hear all that squeaking. This thing does not have any grease joints. Can y'all believe that? I'm surprised at that. All right, what you got, Zach? Can you? Hey.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put the control up there. All right.
Okay.
So y'all see him. It's just a whole lot easier to do it like this, y'all. And y'all see how we're using the battery powered hedge trimmers, the battery powered man lift, not making hardly any noise. Okay, so now to set it back down. Look good, man. See what I'm saying? What about the other side?
Over there? Okay.
Just touch the top, man. You ain't gotta spend a bunch of time. Okay, so y'all see how it's in the rigging position? I got it back down. See how it's off the ball right there? So now what we'll do is I'm gonna set it back down on the ball. All things that you gotta do, first of all, you gotta turn it back to that, to where you're on that plate, right? And then you gotta lift this up and then bring it down. And y'all see how it fell right back on the ball? That's what you want. Sometimes it don't work out like that. But I'll tell you what when I get in trouble. So what you gotta do is you gotta turn this off, because if you don't, it'll start beeping. And now you come around here, you latch this down, all right? Then you go to here and kick that loose, make sure that's down. Grab the parking brake, you pull it up, and I always put this cover on my, because this part right here, y'all, this whole control panel, it's like $4,000. Yeah, y'all see. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay, guys, so we had a little bit of a change of plan, and no, I didn't do a formal quote on this guy because we didn't know exactly what he wanted to do. So me and him walked the property, and he's wanting to do things that I was not expecting. So what I'm gonna do is, and we want to do the work today, right? Because if we wait till tomorrow or the next day, well, we're not being efficient. I want to do it all today. I got the man lift here and everything. So, okay, y'all. So, y'all see what we got going on, and it's a pretty good bit of work over there. I didn't really show you guys what the other guys want us to do, and we could probably do it an easier way, but well, not an easier way, but well, yeah, we could probably do it an easier way, but I'm trying to do 2 or 3 things at one time. You know, I got that cedar tree on my trailer at home. I got like 3 cedar trees on that trailer. Now I want to be able to take the cedar trees and everything that we cut off that man's house. I want to take all that to the dump. Let me call my customer real quick. Well, I know she has some stuff she wants to take to the dump, and let's see.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, so did you have some stuff you want to take to the dump?
Yeah, let me grab, like, okay, so I have this, like, bunny cage. You're going to laugh at me. It's upstairs on the 2nd floor. I'm trying to move it down. It's just awkward. It's not heavy. It's just awkward.
I can have Zach grab it if you want to. So the plan is this, I'm going home, going to drop the man lift, I'm going to get the dump trailer, and I'm going to have to press the stuff down on the dump trailer with the skid steer real quick. Yeah, because I want to take everything to the dump at one time. So I'm gonna get my stuff taken care of, I'm gonna get their stuff taken care of, I'm gonna get her stuff taken care of, and that's another way that I don't have to pay for my personal dump. You know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go to the dump, I'm gonna pack everything down on that trailer, and that's how that's gonna go down. As long as I get all their stuff on the trailer, it doesn't really matter. You know, I'm not charging them for the weight of the stuff. I'm just going to charge them because there's not enough weight to really justify anything. I'm just going to charge them the $100 to go to the dump times 2. So I'll get $200 to go to the dump on 2 properties next door, and most of the stuff on the trailer is going to be my stuff. So, you know, I'm gonna load whatever they want on. I'm gonna have to pack it on there, but that's not a problem. We can do all that. So the owner of the other property, not the one where Zach is doing the bushes with the man lift, but the owner of the other property, he's spending $600. So, and the one where Zach is spending $500. So $1,100. The dump is going to be more about time than anything. But see, the way I'll time the dump out is I'll go to the dump and I'll send them home because they'll be done. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, y'all? Well, right now they're doing all the busy work, mowing the damn grass on the other one, the big field in the back. Then they're going to do certain things I told them to do in an orderly way, to where when I get back over there, we can load the dump trailer up and roll. So it's going to take me a minute to get home with all this construction. It's going to take me a minute to do everything, but once we get to a certain point, then I'll be able to pull off of there, or they can pull off of there. Whenever my dump trailer gets loaded with all the stuff that we're going to cut. And we're going to cut a pretty good bit of stuff. So I'm going to need more than what I have now. See, the owner of the second property, we were just going to do the bushes. You know, he didn't say anything about trimming. He's wanting to trim some big branches and stuff. So, you know, I'll do that, not a problem. But I'm not ready to, I don't have a way to haul it off. So there's no sense in cutting all that stuff and not be able to haul it off. So, and considering my dump truck was damn near full right now, then I could dump the stuff at my house, come over here and get his stuff, go to the dump, and then I still got to deal with my stuff. I want my stuff and his stuff and her stuff to go to the dump all in one block. And me making money everywhere. That's how I do it. And I gotta, y'all see it. I got a disclaimer that if you don't do it like that, no worries. And I'm not telling you to do things like that. That's just how I do things for what I'm doing, based on a lot of things that might not be able to explain in the video, such as, okay, location of said properties, the location of the dump from said properties, location of my house from said properties, location of my house from the dump. See, all these things are things that go along in my head that a lot of people that I don't explain in the video why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to get better at that, but you know, I can only do what I can do, what I can do. Main thing is get these guys to do the busy work and let me, because once we get over there, once I get back, they'll have a lot of the busy work done, and then we'll be able to cut and load all that stuff on the dump trailer pretty quick. You know, I know exactly what to cut, how to cut it, when to cut it, where to cut it, and all that. I just need 4 hands to drag it out of the way and put it on the trailer. That's all I'll need. The tree trimming stuff's good money, and I guarantee you, it's not going to take us an hour to get to them $500 over there, and then $100 for the dump. So $600, and the first customer is $400 plus $100 to the dump. So you got $500 and $600. That's $1,100 that we're going to get today. And it's 10 o'clock right now. I should be back over there by probably 10:30. Yeah. So that's where I'm at, y'all. And I don't know if you guys do things like this. This time of year, you got to kind of go by the seat of your pants sometimes. You know, I roll the dice in bringing 2 people out here based on what I know about the customers and what I know they'll spend. See, the grass is not growing, but we're going to be cutting both those lawns too. So that's really going to take the money up, because he pays monthly for the lawn. So he's not going to write me a check for the lawn care, because the lawn care is due at the end of the month. He pays that. That's an automatic thing that he does. Automatic withdrawal or whatever. I get an automatic payment for the lawn care from one of those customers over there, the one we're going to be cutting all the trimming of the trees. And we're only trimming about 10 freaking branches, y'all. I'm telling you, there's no money in that tree trimming stuff. And we don't need the man lift either. But you got to recognize that right away. When I pulled up over there, I knew that he was wanting to trim some trees, but I walked over there to his house, and he's a regular customer of mine, but I knew the trees were not really going to be nothing like, you know, a tree trim to justify the man lift. But I might be able to make just as much money as having the man lift, because you got to be able to haul it out of there. So, yeah. All of that, y'all. I said all of that. So now all we're trying to do is get home, drop the man lift, and get the dump trailer. That's all we're trying to do, y'all. That's it. Easy peasy cheesy. To get the Bobcat and press that shit down. Probably have to crank saw up and cut into some of that, man. That's on the trailer to press it. Because we're not gonna be able to press it once we get over there, not like I can with the skid steer. Yeah. Number cash, y'all. Straight cash, homie. Y'all heard that before. But I'll be honest, I'm not working hard at all, y'all. And I think as you evolve in the business, And, you know, but you got to have help. You can make a lot more money and not have to do as much physical work, but you got to do a little more thinking. But it's really not thinking, because it's really just the next common sense move, you know, based on your experience, you know. Like, you know, 12 or 13 years ago, I would never have been thinking like I'm thinking now. I would have, you know, I'd have had those guys haywire over there all over the place. We'd have been on ladders, you know, doing the tree work. We would have been on ladders trimming those big bushes there. And, you know, that is what you're trying to avoid as you get older. You know, I could have done everything that I've asked Zach to do with the man lift. I could have done that easily myself. I could have. I mean, it's not hard. The man lift makes everything really easy. So, you know, and y'all know that, I mean, when I do major tree trimming, I'm the one that's usually in the man lift. But I want to let these guys get their feet wet with the man lift, so I don't have to baby them on the man lift. And Zach's getting a lot better at managing the man lift. You know, even though it's not rocket science or nothing, you know, you still got to kind of be paying attention to what you're doing so you don't hit nothing, tear nothing up back into somebody's house. You know, you got to watch the boom. And my job is to make sure that I don't put the lift in a spot that's going to mess the guy up that's in the boom, that's in the man lift, in the boom. Because the boom's got that elbow on it, and that elbow stretches way out. And you can spin around. I have spun around when I first got it and hit a tree. You know. So, and it jarred me. It didn't tear nothing up, but it marked the tree, and it jarred me, and it made me realize, okay, that boom goes way out like 12 feet. So the way that boom lift is designed, it's pretty sweet, to be honest. You know. Well, there's a few ways we could have done this, and I don't really, you know, I can get into that for a second while I'm headed to the house. So what I could have done, and if you're not thinking like I'm fixing to tell you I'm thinking, then you might need to start thinking like that if you're an entrepreneur out here. So a couple ways I could have done this. I could have went on and cut all the branches and everything, but I would not have a place to put them. And that goes against everything that I'm about. I don't want to touch nothing twice. When we're trimming branches, I want to trim them, put them on the trailer, done. I don't want to trim them, move to a pile, and then have to pick them up again and put them on the trailer. We want to put them on the trailer one at a time, you know. And you have to look at how much volume you're cutting too. That plays a part. Now over here, we probably would have been okay if I'd have played it like that, because there's not that much volume. But I knew that I wanted to get my stuff to the dump too. So that's what I'm trying to do also. So not only are we making good money today, I'm saving money as well on the other end, because I don't have to pay to go to the dump for my own stuff. If you don't have a dump trailer, you can't do that. I mean, you know, because it takes just as much effort to hit that button to dump 5 tons off as it does to hit that button and dump 1 ton off. And I'll use their money, right, that they're paying me for gas, energy, time, and effort to pay for the dump. I mean, to me, it's just business one-on-one. Now, a lot of guys ain't gonna tell you all that. They're not gonna break it down like Ray Ray breaks it down, but I'm gonna break it down like that, because that's in reality, that's what's happening. And I know a lot of guys do the same thing I'm doing, because it ain't smart to do it any other way. And I do have a disclaimer. But, you know, either use a hustler or use it not, you know. But you gotta put yourself in a position to be a hustler, you know. You gotta put yourself in a position, meaning trucks, trailers, equipment, and all that, and help. Just as much effort. Yeah, y'all. But trimming these trees over here is not going to be a problem. That's going to be some of the easiest stuff we've done, because I know how to trim a tree to where it's not going to, we're making minimal mess. And I got 2 people standing there, and the dump trailer is going to be 12 foot away, 15 foot away. Okay, 30 foot away. My biggest thing is getting some of this stuff pressed down on here to where we can get all their stuff on there. All right, y'all, I got to pull up.